Hi everyone. So today we will discuss the October 2021 P4 paper. Question number 1. The curve C has equation 2x minus 4y square plus 3x square y equals 4x square plus 8. The point P3, 2 lies on C. Find the equation of the normal. Okay, so find the equation of the normal to C at the point P, writing your answer in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a, b, c are integers to be found. 7 marks. So what's the first thing you do when they give you the curve equation? To get the equation of the normal, you must first differentiate the given equation and find what? dy by dx. So let's get dy by dx, 2x minus 4y square plus 3x square y equals to 4x square plus 8. Shall we differentiate? So what do we get? 2x differentiation is 2 minus, this is 4y square. So there's a power here. So then give the power the priority. So you get here 8 y to the power 1. First you're done with the power. After you're done with the power, come inside and differentiate y. When you differentiate y with respect to x, we get dy by dx. Okay, so that part is done. Plus, now this is something you need to be really cautious. Why is it? Why do you need to be cautious here? 3x square y. You can see you have a product of two variables here, x square and y. So when you are differentiating, you must use the product rule. So when you use product rule, so you keep one person weighting 3x square is weighting, while y differentiates to give you what? dy over dx, and then plus the 3 and y weights while x square differentiates. That becomes 2x, or you could directly write 6xy. Okay, if you are comfortable, you can directly go. And here 4x square differentiation is 8x plus 8 differentiation is 0. Okay, we are done. Now it's a matter of making dy by dx the subject. Okay, let's make dy by dx the subject. What do you do here? Shall I take these terms to the other side? I'll take them to the other side. I'll take the 2. And from these two terms, I'll take dy by dx out. Shall I do it immediately? So dy by dx, when I take it out from the two terms here, I get here minus 8y plus 3x square. Are you with me? On the other side, I get 8x. The plus 2 from here goes to the other side as minus 2. Here you have 3y into 2x is 6xy. Goes to the other side as minus 6xy. Are you with me? So now it's the final step. You make dy by dx the subject. So 8x minus 2 minus 6xy divided by minus 8y plus 3x square. So another person could get the answer as minus 8x plus 2 plus 6xy over plus 8y minus 3x square. You would get that answer if you took the dy by dx terms to this side and the 8x to the other side. Okay, so anyway, both of them are the same. Okay, if you get the same answer, if you get this answer with all the terms having a sign change, that's also correct. Okay, then so basically what I'm saying here is, you could get the same answer here with the sign change. Minus 8x plus 2 plus 6xy plus 8y minus 3x square. Both of them are okay for dy by dx. Okay? Both of them are okay. Okay, because some of you could have taken dy by dx to the left side here and taken 3x and taken the 8x over here. In that case, you would get the answer but with a sign change. But so everyone must have the sign change. So any of these two are okay. That's what I want to tell. Okay, then we are not done yet. What should we do now? We are supposed to find, now you know dy by dx is going to give you what? The equation of the gradient of the tangent of the curve. Dy by dx gives the gradient of the tangent. What do I need? I need the normal at the point 3, 2. First what we'll do is, first let's input the point 3, 2 and get the gradient of the tangent. Okay, let's get the gradient of tangent. So what do we get? I will use the first one. Dy by dx. Can I have the answer here? 8x. X is 3, right? 8x minus 2 minus 6. X is 3. Y is 2. Divide by minus 8. Y is 2. Plus 3 times x square is 3 square. Do you agree with me? Can I have the dy by dx, the gradient of tangent answer? What did you get? How much? Minus 14 over 11. Is that okay? Minus 14 over 11. Okay, so that is the gradient of the tangent. How do I get the gradient of the normal? You know, gradient product is minus 1. when because tangent and normal are perpendicular to each other, right? The tangent and normal are perpendicular, so the gradient of the normal, you have to get the take the reciprocal and switch the sign. Okay, or m1 into m2 equal -1. What do we get for the gradient of normal? Plus 11/14. Okay, I'm using the gradient product is -1. Okay, so then let's now get the equation of normal. So what's the equation of the normal? The straight line y minus y1 equals gradient x minus x1. Let's input y minus, what's our y1 value? 3,2, right? So y coordinate is 2. Gradient is 11/14. X minus x1 is 3, right? Okay, so now we are not supposed, they have told you clearly that everything should be in integers, ax plus by plus c. So I'll take the 14 to the other side as a multiplication. What do I get here? 14y, 14 times 2 is 28 equals, in here you have only 11. Shall I directly open the bracket with the 11? So what do you get here? 11 into x is 11x, and 11 into -3 is -33. Do you agree with me? So I'll take the 14 minus 28 to the other side. 11x plus 14y goes to the other side as -14y. Here we have -33, and the -28 comes as +28. So -33 plus 28 is how much? -5. So then you get your answer 11x minus 14y minus 5. Or another person could say -11x plus 14y plus 5. So both of them are okay. So this is the equation of the normal in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a, b, c are integers. Okay, so is this clear? Okay, moving on to question number 2. Find the particular solution of the differential equation dy by dx equals 4y square over root 4x plus y, 4x plus 5, and they have told you x is greater than -5/4. Okay, so they have said for which y equal 1/3, x equal -1/4, giving your answer in the form y equal fx. What do you mean by solving the differential equation? Solving a differential equation means you convert the dy by dx equation back into the original y equation. So how do you convert it back? Normally in P4, when they give you a dy by dx equation, what are you supposed to do? What's the first thing that you're supposed to do? What's the first thing you're supposed to do? Separate the variables. First thing is you separate the dy, keep the dy over here, take the dx to the other side. Separate the variables. Take all the y variables to the side with dy, take all the x variables to the side with dx. That's the first thing to do. Okay, so what do we get here then? So shall I bring the y square down here? Okay, it's entirely up to you. If you want to bring the entire 4y square down over here, you can bring it. Or else just bring the y square. Are you with me? What I'm doing here? I kept the dy. Okay, the dy stays here, and the y square, I'm bringing it down. It's a multiplication, it comes as a division. On the other side, who is remaining now? Who is remaining? There is a 4 on top and root 4x plus 5. And then you also take the dx over here. Are you with me? Dx comes over here. So now you can see I have successfully separated the variables. This side is with respect to y, the other side is with respect to x. Okay, so now we are ready to do what? We are ready to integrate. So once you come to this step, you're going to integrate. So the left side integrates with respect to y, the right side integrates with respect to x. So it's a matter of applying the integration rules correctly. Okay, how do we integrate 1/y square? 1/y square, you can't integrate when there is a power of y. First, what you should do is take it up. So take it up. What do you get here? Y to the power -2. Let me rearrange that. And over here also, before I integrate, let me rearrange. Let me take the 4 out. 4 is a constant. You can take it out. And what do we have here? This is 1/root 4x plus 5. So take it out. You get 4x plus 5 to the power -half dx. Are you with me? So now all you have to do is to apply the integration rules. Okay, y to the power -2. What happens when you integrate? You add 1 to the power and divide, right? So y to the power -2, add 1. -2 plus 1 is -1. Divide by -1. Agreed? On the other side, when you integrate, you get here 4 times 4x plus 5 to the power -half. Ax plus b to the power n. Do you remember the rule? Yeah, so these are the integration rules just to show you. Yeah, so I have written here. Can you see? Rule number 1, ax plus b to the power n. When you integrate, it's 1 over ax plus b to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1. Are you with me? So apply that rule. So what happens here? It's 1 over 4, right? Because it's 1 over a here. So 1 over 4, you have divided by the x coefficient. 4x plus 5 to the power minus half plus 1 is plus half divided by half. So are we done with the, we are done with the integration, but is this all that you should put here? Yeah, when you're done with the integration, at that point itself, make sure you put the plus c, the integration, the arbitrary constant. Don't forget the plus c. Okay, you must remember to put the plus c, put it at the moment you finish the integration. Okay, so what do we get here? When I simplify, I get here minus y to the power minus 1. Or we could write minus 1 over y. Are you okay with that? Y to the power minus 1 is 1 over y. And this minus comes is in front. So here 4 into 1 over 4 will cancel. Then what's remaining? Dividing by half means the 2 comes on top, right? 2 times this is 4x plus 5 to the power half plus c. Are you with me? Okay, now what are we supposed to do? They have given you values for x and y. So x is minus 1 over 4, y is 1 over 3. Input those values for x and y and find the value of your c. Find the value of your c. So minus 1 over y was how much? Y was 1 over 3, right? 2 into this is 4. X is minus 1 over 4. Am I correct? 4x plus 5 to the power half plus c. So 1 divided by 1 over 3, it's going to be minus 3, right? And you get here 2 times. What happens here? 4 and minus 4, it cancels. You get here what? Minus 1. Minus 1 plus 5 to the power half plus c. Are you with me? Minus 3 equal 2 times. Minus 1 plus 5 is minus 1 plus 5 is 4. So 4 to the power half is 2. So basically minus 3 equals 2 times 2, 4. So I get c equals minus 3 minus 4, which is minus 7. So I get c is minus 7. Okay, so now we are done. We are ready to input the value of c into this equation. So this is the main equation that I found, right? So substitute the c value into this equation. And what are we supposed to do now? They are asking you to start giving your answer in the form y equal fx, which means what? You have to make y the subject. So let's make y the subject. Minus, so I'm going to substitute to this equation over here. Minus 1 over y. Okay, so I'm drawing the arrow just to show you to what I'm inputting the values. You don't need to draw anything like this. So just substitute minus 1 over y equals 2 times 4x plus 5 to the power half plus c. C is minus 7. Are you with me? Okay, now the thing is we need to make y the subject. The first thing I can see I have minus 1 over y. Shall I make it a positive 1 over y? What should I do to make it positive 1 over y? Shall I multiply the whole thing with minus 1? Then I get plus 1 over y equals what? Minus 2 times 4x plus 5 to the power half. Minus 7 into minus 1 is plus 7. Are you with me? So I have 1 over y. Now the question says to make y the subject. But how do I make y the subject? You can flip it over, right? Because it's 1 over y. So when you make it y, it flips. Flip both the sides. This is like this whole thing over 1. Isn't it? This is like this whole thing over 1. So when you flip it, it's 1 over minus 2 times 4x plus 5 to the power half plus 7. Remember, the whole thing flips together. It's not individually flipping. Okay, not 1 over 4x plus 5 to the power half and then plus minus 1 over, no. Okay, the whole thing, you take it together. Like it's a single entity. And the single entity flips and comes as a single denominator. Okay, don't split it. So otherwise it's completely wrong. So this is it. This is your y answer. Okay, are you with me? So if you want, you could write put in the plus 7 in front. Plus 7 minus 2 times 4x plus 5 to the power half. Or you can leave it like this. Okay, is this clear? Okay, moving on to question number 3. They say gx is equal to 3x cubed plus 8x square minus 3x minus 6 divided by x times x plus 3. So they have told that this is equal to ax plus b plus c over x plus d over x plus 3. Find the values of the constants a, b, c, and d. Okay, what's the first thing we do? So they have given you the partial fraction format. What we do here is first we take the x plus 3 to the other side, right? So what do we get here? 3x cubed plus 8x square minus 3x minus 6 equals, how do you do this here? Ax times ax we need to multiply with the xx plus 3. So I get ax square x plus 3. Do you agree with me? The next one, plus b times xx plus 3. And the next one, c over x. C over x, when you multiply with the x times x plus 3, do you see the x will cancel out? So you get c times x plus 3. And the next one, d over x plus 3, when you multiply with x plus 3, you get dx. The x plus 3 will cancel out. Do you agree with me? Okay, so now it's a matter of inputting x values. You can compare coefficients. Anything is okay. Okay, either you could compare coefficients or you can input x values. I think if you compare coefficients here for the very first, for the highest x power, we can get the value of a very easily. Okay. So when you, for example, when we compare coefficients, okay, I'm going to do a combination of both. Okay, I will compare coefficients as well as input values for x. So if I compare coefficients for x cube, the reason I'm going with x cube is there are not many terms who gives us x cube. So you see, only very few terms give us x cube. And who gives x cube in the left hand side? We only have 3x cube. Okay, and on the right hand side, do I have many terms who gives me x cube? No, there's only the ax square into x gives me ax cube. Is there anyone else who is capable of generating x cube here when you expand the bracket? No, you don't need to manually expand and write down. That's a waste of time. You can check it from your head now. Ax square into x is ax cube. Ax square into 3 is 3ax square. So you can see that none of these brackets, when you open, you don't get any x cube down here. So therefore, ax cube is the only one that has x cube. Therefore, coefficient is a. So directly, that gives us what? A equals to 3. That's directly a equal 3. Then next one is if you compare coefficient for x square. When you go for x square, of course, you will get many terms with x square, isn't it? Okay, so what we can do is in the next one, you can continue going x square and go on, or else you can input x values. So another easy way is tell me a convenient x value we can use here. When x is 0, that's a really convenient x value to use. So when x is 0, you can see many of these terms will become 0, right? What happens here? 3 into 0 is 0, 8 into 0 is 0, minus 3 into 0 is 0. What's remaining? Minus 6 equals on the other side, a into 0, that's the whole thing 0, plus b into 0 is a 0 here, plus c times 0 plus 3. That is c times 0 plus 3, that's 3c. And the other one, d into 0 is 0. So do you see that I'm immediately getting the value of c here? Minus 6 equals 3c, c equals minus 6 divided by 3 is minus 2. Okay, is this okay? So this is when x equal 0. Again, we can go with another x value. What is it? What was the next strategy? Did you go with x square coefficient or did you go with the x value? When x equal minus 3, you can go with comparing coefficient or with putting x values. Anyway, it's fine. Okay. Any of these methods are fine. Either you can go completely with comparing coefficient. So when x equal minus 3, so you'll have to work on this. You have to input every x value with minus 3 here, isn't it? So replace every x value with minus 3. What do we get? Can you all replace all the x values here? Take your calculator. Replace 3 into minus 3 cube. Okay, or you can just type this here, 3x cube. 3x cube plus 8x square minus 3x. Do you see the way I'm typing? Minus 6. You type the x equation in the calculator on the left hand side and you give calc and give the x value. X is minus 3. Do you see? And you get minus 6. So that's the answer when you replace x with minus 3. So minus 6 equals the other side. When you replace x with minus 3, do I need to show any working here? What happens? Minus 3 plus 3. That's the whole reason we use minus, because this bracket entirely becomes a 0. Bx into x minus x plus 3. X is minus 3. Minus 3 plus 3 is again a 0. C times minus 3 plus 3 is again a 0. Here, d into minus 3. d multiplied by minus 3. Do you understand? Minus 6 equals to minus 3d. So basically d equals minus 6 divided by minus 3. Minus 6 divided by minus 3 is plus 2. It's a division. Minus 3 goes as a division. Yeah. So then plus 2. So I have the values of A, C and D. I only need to find the value of B. So either you could put X value or you could go for the comparing coefficient. Entirely up to you. So if I go with the comparing coefficient for X square, what happens when I go for comparing coefficient with X square? What do I have as the X square coefficient? 8. On the left hand side, I have 8. On the right hand side, look very carefully. What do I have for the X square coefficient? Ax square into 3 is 3ax square. Can you see? It's 3ax square, which means who is the X square coefficient? 3a. Plus, that's not all. Bx into x is bx square. Can you see? It's a bx square. So bx square means what's the X square coefficient? B. Then do I have any other? So give me x square again. Bx into 3 is 3bx. Cx into c into x is cx. C into 3 is 3c. And again dx. Do I get any x square again? No. So that's it. This is all I have for x square coefficient. So replace the a with what you found. 8 equals 3 times a is 3. So I get here 8 equals 3 times 3 is 9 plus b, which gives me b equals 8 minus 9. B is minus 1. So that's it, right? So the values of our a, b, c, d. What do they ask us? Find the values of the constants a, b, c, and d. Done. Okay, so these are the 4 values. Is this clear? Okay, then the next part, they ask you, a curve has the equation y equals gx, meaning the top equation here. Using the answer to part A, find g dash x. Using the answer to part A means what? Using the partial fraction, like using these the format where they have broken it down. So using this format about they wanted to differentiate. Okay, because you can see differentiating this big fraction is it's a big challenge. So they are asking you to use the answer. So you must use the answer. Who is our gx? What's our gx value? Gx is, we'll use the simplified format, the one that we got with the ABCD. A is 3x, B is minus 1 plus C is minus 2 over x, right? C is minus 2 over x and D is plus 2 over x plus 3. Are you with me? Okay, so then now we need to just differentiate this. Okay, so how do we differentiate? Are you 3x? Of course, we can differentiate, no problem. Minus 1 also no problem. Minus 2 over x. Are you do you want to go with the quotient rule, or shall we bring the x up? Anyway, you can do this in any way you like. You want to take the x up as a power of minus 1 and then differentiate. Okay, or else you can use the quotient rule. Okay, so you guys want, so I'm not differentiating it. You want me to rearrange the equation, right? That's what you are saying. So you want that minus 2 stays while the x comes up as x to the power minus 1, right? Here 2 times, this is x plus 3 within bracket, it comes up as x plus 3 to the power minus 1. Okay, so this is just a rearrangement of your g. Now it's time to get g dash x. Okay, what happens when you take g dash x? 3x differentiation is 3, minus 1 differentiation is 0, minus 2 into minus 1 is plus 2, x to the power minus 1 is minus 2. Agreed? The next part, plus 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, x plus 3 to the power minus 1, right? Minus 2. Are you with me? Okay, so find the answer, find the g dash x value. So shall we simplify this in the simplest form? G dash x equals 3 plus 2 over x square. I'm fixing it. Minus 2 over x plus 3 to the power 2. So this is your the value of your g dash x. Is this clear? Just 2 marks. Okay, then they ask you in part C, hence explain why g dash x is greater than 3 for all values of x in the domain of G. Okay, what are the values of x in our domain? What are the x values here? Are we getting all the x values in the number, or have they given us a very specific domain? They are told x values are supposed to be greater than 0. So only positive x values are considered in this entire sum. So considering all the positive x values, all the positive real numbers, they ask you to explain why. Now it's just 1 mark. So you have to make your point very clearly. For 1 mark, just give the point. Why is your g dash x greater than 3? Why would it be greater than 3? So you can see your g dash x here is having something. You can already see the 3 here, right? Can you see the 3 here? So basically, what do you need to then show? If it's greater than 3 means, now you can see there is the variable part comes here, right? Where you input values for x. So basically g dash x is greater than 3 means, in other words, this particular section should be a what value? It must always be a positive value, even though there's a minus mark in between. You need to show that 2 over x square and 2 over x plus 3 square, when you compare them, this always gives a what value? This subtraction. It gives a positive value. Thereby, when you add a positive value to 3, you get a value bigger than 3. So now you need to think, how are we going to show 2 over x square when you compare with 2 over x plus 3 square to get a positive answer here? What do you think is, to get a positive answer means who is bigger? In the subtraction, to get a positive answer means you need to kind of show that 2 over x square is larger than 2 over x plus 3 square. So are you capable of saying that it is larger? Do you see it is larger, by the way? You can see when the denominator, now you can see the denominator here is x square. Here the denominator is x plus 3 square. The numerators are the same. So when you compare, are you aware that the larger the denominator, the number, is it smaller or larger? Huh? The larger your denominator, the smaller the value, right? 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 2 is large. Sorry. What happens when the number gets larger? When the number gets larger, the value drops, right? So 1 over 3 is smaller than 1 over 2. Isn't it? Something like that. So here also 2 over x square. Here you have x plus 3 square. X plus 3 square is larger, the denominator. But that means as a full value, when you take the full value, what happens? It is smaller. So basically this is smaller. 2 over x square is larger than 2 over x plus 3 square for all positive values of x. For all values of x. You can say. So it's better if you write like this. If you can say for all values of x greater than 0, 2 over x square is greater than 2 over x plus 3 square. Do you agree with me? The denominator gets larger means the important thing here is the numerators must be the same. If your numerators are not the same, you can't compare. Okay, numerators are the same. So when the denominator gets large, it means the overall value will drop. So then what does it mean? This means 2 over x square minus 2 over x plus 3 square is a what figure? Is it a positive or negative? When you take it to the other side, 2 over x plus 3 square, this is positive. So if it is positive, what does it mean? Therefore, what does it mean? Therefore, what does it imply? Your g dash x will be greater than 3 for all x greater than 0. That's it. Just for 1 mark, you need to kind of make a point. It's just 1 mark. Definitely, you must mention that this is greater 2 over x square is greater than 2 over x plus 3 square for all values of x. And thereby the subtraction is positive. The subtraction is positive. You always add some value to 3, which means your g dash x value will always be greater than 3. Okay, is that clear? Question number 4, fx is equal to root 1 minus 4x square, and the x values, the set of x values that satisfy this inequality, the set of x values is given here, modulus x is less than half. So they are saying find in ascending powers of x the first 4 non-zero terms of the binomial expansion of fx, giving each coefficient in simplest form. Okay, so what do we do here normally? Again, reminding you the rule, we use the rule 1 plus x to the power n, the expansion. So that is 1 plus nx plus n times n minus 1 x square over 2 factorial. That's the first 3 terms. They want the first 4 terms, which means I want the next term as well, which is n minus 1, n minus 2, x cube over 3 factorial. Are you with me? Okay, now let's input the value here. So who is our fx? It's 1 minus 4x square to the power half. Do I need to fix anything here? You can see I clearly have the 1. Therefore, I don't need to do any, I don't need to adjust anything here. I don't need to take anything out and make it and fix it, because I already can see the 1 is very clearly there. So what should I do? The replacement here. N is replaced by half and x is replaced by, who is x replaced by? X is replaced by minus 4x square. The minus 4x square should replace the value of your x. Okay, shall we work on it? So I get here 1 plus n is half, x is minus 4x square. Are you with me? Go term by term. The next one, n is half, n minus 1 is half minus 1 into x square. X square is minus 4x square. That is x. So x square means minus 4x square should be squared. Are you with me? Minus 4x square is squared into 1 over 2 factorial. Do you agree? I put the 2 factorial as 1 over 2 factorial. Continue. Plus n is half into half minus 1 into half minus 2 into x cube is what? X is minus 4x square. You are supposed to take it to the power 3x cube and then into 1 over 3 factorial. Okay, I put the 3 factorial as 1 over 3 factorial. Okay, now it's a matter of typing everything in the cal. So let's get the first term is anyway going to be 1. Half into minus 4 is minus 2x square. So there's nothing much there. The next one, it should be half into half minus 1. Do you see? Half minus 1 into what do you get here? Can you see? It's minus 4x square to the power 2. So be careful here. What do you type here in the cal? Minus 4 within brackets, minus 4 is squared. Minus 4 is square. And then what happens to the x square? When you square it, x square becomes x to the power 4. So be cautious of that. X square becomes x to the power 4. And I'm not done with it yet. I can't type the x part in the cal. So that should be there in your head. Minus 4 to the power 2, I type it in the cal. And who else is there? Into 1 over 2 factorial. Can you see? Into 1 over 2 factorial. So let's give the equal mark and I can say I get minus 2. Is that what you get? So minus 2 and what's the x figure? Minus 2 x to the power 4. Okay, do you understand? Okay, so that was the answer for this part. Okay, agreed? Okay, and then the last part, half into, I'll move the calculator here. Half into half minus 1 into, what is it? Half minus 2. I think I need to remove all of this. Half minus 2. Okay, half minus 1, half minus 2 into, yeah, it's minus 4 to the power 3. So close bracket, make sure you give the minus 4 within brackets and the power. And then what happens to x to the power? X square and power 3 gives x to the power 6. And then into 1 over 3 factorial. Okay, what do you get here? Minus 4. I get minus 4 and what's the x power? X to the power 6. So we get here minus 4 x to the power 6 and that is the answer we get for this term. Okay, is this clear with all of you? So these are my first 4 terms. 1 minus 2x to the power 4 minus 4x to the power 6. So these are the first 4 terms in the binomial expansion. Okay, is this clear? Then part B, by substituting x equal 1 over 4 into the binomial expansion of fx, obtain an approximation for root 3. Okay, they tell you clearly what should you do? You're supposed to replace x with 1 over 4. So do it to not just one side, do it to both the sides. Replace x with 1 over 4 in both the sides. So this is 1 minus 4x square to the power half. Shall we replace? 1 minus 4 into x square. X is 1 over 4. So 1 over 4 should be squared. Okay, so 1 minus 4x square whole thing to the power half equals the other side 1 minus 2 times. It's better you show the because you get method marks. It's better you show the substitution. Okay, do you hear me? Show the substitution because there's not much to do here. So 2 into x is 1 over 4 square. Show the working. It's absolutely important you show your working. Okay, otherwise you will lose method marks and that means you lose the accuracy marks. Okay, so 1 minus 2 into 1 over 4 square minus 2 into 1 over 4 to the power 4 minus 4 into 1 over 4 to the power 6. Show the substitution. Okay, even though if you feel it takes your time, do it because that is a necessary step here. Okay, now let's type this in the cal. The first part inside the calculator, what do they get here? 1 minus 4 into 1 over 4 to the power 2, right? 1 minus 4 into 1 over 4 to the power. I did not give the power half yet because we are supposed to create a root 3 here. So don't give the power half. I just want to see the value inside the bracket. What do I get for the value inside the bracket? I get 3 over 4. So this is actually what? 3 over 4 to the power half. Yeah, 3 over 4 to the power half, right? That's what it means. I did not go type the power half. Can you all type the other part inside the calc? Yeah, I mean, better if I have it 1 minus 2 into 1 over 4. Okay, 1 over 4 to the power 2 minus 2 into 1 over 4 to the power 4, right? Minus 4 into 1 over 4 to the power 6. So is this correct? I get 887 over 1024. Okay, so then we are supposed to create the value of root 3. So you know this is root 3 over 4 to the power half means it's 3 to the power half divided by 4 to the power half, right? The power half goes to both the terms. So 3 to the power half divided by who is 4 to the power half? 4 to the power half is 2, root 4. 887 over 1024. Take the 2 to the other side and multiply. How much is it? 887 over 1024 multiplied by 2. How much is, can they want the value to? 4 decimal places. So this is the value of 3 to the power half. In other words, is root 3, and you need to give the answer. So this into 2, right? 887 over 512. So 4 dp 1.7324. 1.7324. So make sure when they say 4 dp that you give it to 4 dp, not any more, not any less. Okay, so this is the answer for the approximate answer for root 3 by using the expansion. Okay, is this clear? Question number 5. They say figure 1 shows a sketch of the curve C with parametric equation x equal 5 plus 2 tan t, y equal 8 6 square t. Use parametric differentiation to find the gradient of the curve at x equals 3. Okay. So parametric differentiation, gradient means what? You get dy by dx. Okay, how do we get dy by dx? First, we can get using x equation. What do we find? X equal 5 plus 2 tan t. Then differentiate dx by dt. What do we get? 5 differentiation is 0. 2 times tan differentiation is 6 square t. And y equals 8 times 6 square t, which gives me how much? So there's a power here. When you see 6 square t, the power gets the first priority. So you bring the power front. 8 times 2 16. Sec t to the power 2 minus 1. It's 1. And then after you're done with the power, go inside to sec differentiation. Sec differentiation is sec t tan t. This is how we differentiate when there is a power. So that gives me, sorry, this is dy by dt, right? When you differentiate, make sure you write it as dy by dt. And that gives me how much? 16 sec square t tan t. Okay, they're asking you to find dy by dx. So normally dy by dx is equal to dy by dt divided by dx by dt. Or in other words, we write this as, I think it's, it is easier to use in this manner. Dy by dt into dt by dx. This is the easy way to use it. So which is what? Dy by dt is 2 sec square t into dt by dx is the, dy by dt is 16 sec square t tan t. dt by dx is the reciprocal of 2 sec square, which is 1 over 2 sec square t. Or you could write it, you could have written it on top of this. So you can see the sec square will directly cancel out. 2 and 16 also cancels out. 2 times 1, 2 times 8. What's remaining? 8 tan t. Do you agree? So this is the dy by dx. However, I think they asked us to find the dy by dx at what point? Use parametric differentiation to find the gradient of C when at x equals 3. So there's a very specific point here. So at x equals 3. However, you can see our dy by dx equation doesn't have a x term. It's in terms of t. So what you need to do at x equals 3, you have to find the respective t value. At x equals 3, find the respective t value and input the t value. Your t value is supposed to be in this given range. So find the t value when x equals 3, find the t value that falls into this respective t range. Okay, so let's get it done. So what is the x here? X equals to 5 plus 2 tan t and x is equal to 3. What happens here? 3 minus 5 is minus 2 equals to 2 tan t, which gives me minus 2 divided by 2 is minus 1 equals tan t. Tan inverse of minus 1 is minus 5 over 4, right? We can directly substitute tan t as minus 1. Yeah. No, I was just looking at this range. Yeah. Okay. So we have a value of t that falls to the range. Yeah. So basically, directly tan t is minus 1. Yeah. So dy by dx equals 8 times tan t is directly minus 1. Yeah. Tan t is minus 1. So that gives me the gradient at x equals 3 is minus 8. So you can write gradient equals minus 8. Okay. Then moving on to the next part, they say the curve C has equation y equal fx. The curve C has equation means now they have drawn the curve here, but they have given the parametric equation. So the curve C has equation y equal fx means when y and x are back together, which means it's a what form? It's a Cartesian form. So y equal fx where f is a quadratic function. Okay, so something that we are familiar with, quadratics. Find fx in the form ax plus b square plus c where a, b, c are constants to be found. So what do you need to do here? Taking your two equations, you need to get rid of the, you have to get rid of the t, get x and y back together. So let's look at the two equations I have here. X equals 5 plus 2 tan t. I have to get rid of the tan t. Here I have sec square t. What's the easiest way to get sec square and tan together? Yeah, we can use the P3 rule. What is it? The trigonometry rule. 1 plus tan square t is equals to sec square t. 1 plus tan square t equals sec square t. Okay, so shall we go with that? So my first equation is x equals 5 plus 2 tan t. Shall we make tan t the subject there? So what do I get here? X minus 5 divided by 2 equals tan t. So what is tan square t then? Over 2 whole thing square is equal to tan square t. Agreed? If I simplify it a little bit further, x minus 5 square over 2 square is 4 equals to tan square t. The other equation is y equals 8 sec square t. So from here, if I make sec square t the subject, I get y over 8. I think we already have sec square t and tan square. So now take these values and substitute to the equation. Okay. Shall we? Let's substitute to 1 plus tan square t equals to sec square t. So 1 plus tan square t is x minus 5 square over 4. Sec square t is y over 8. And now what's the format? They wanted to make y the subject, which means what? Take 8 to the, multiply the whole equation by 8. So what do you get here then? 8 into 1 is 8 plus 8 into 1 over 4 x minus 5 square. 8 and 1 over 4 cancels. 2 x minus 5 square equals y. So shall I write it in the proper side? Y equals 2 times x minus 5 square plus 8. So this is the quadratic equation. Basically, the graph is drawn here for you. Can you see? So this is the fx where a, b, c are constants to be found. Is this clear? Next part, they say find the range of f. Okay, so find the range of f. They have actually now use always when they ask you to find this range. Okay, and they have drawn the graph. Have a look at the graph, because that graph gives you a lot of information that you need to know. Now, range means what? The set of possible what values? The range means the set of possible y values, right? So all the y values that you have within this given graph. So what's the maximum y value we get? Where do you think is the maximum y value? At the very top, right? At the very start? The very start, and the least y value we get is where? At the turning point. So the thing is, you need to get the turning point here. Okay, get the turning point y value, that is the least y value, and get the starting y value. Okay, so shall we first get the turning point? How do you get the turning point? I think we already got, how do you get the turning point? Or we don't need the turning, I mean, we already have the equation here. This equation. So from by looking at it, this is in the completed square format. So just by having a look at this, you can definitely tell the coordinates of the turning point. This is P1. You remember the P1 theory? If you have a quadratic equation y equal ax plus b square plus c, the turning point is what? The turning point is you take it from the inside here. X plus b square means take the opposite of the x value. X plus b means the x coordinate is going to be minus b. The y coordinate, there's no change. Okay, the y coordinate is directly plus c. This is the turning point coordinate. So this is the theory you learn in P1. Okay, inside the bracket, the x plus b square, whatever it is, just change the sign. X plus b, you can think of it as x plus b equals 0. So x is minus b. That's the x value at the turning point. The y value you directly get from here. Okay, so then what do you think is the turning point here? Y equal 2 times x minus 5 square plus 8. Who is the turning point? So your turning point here is x minus 5 means x equals 5. The 2 is not necessary. You can see even in my theory, the a value was not used here. Okay. So if you have a good understanding about the P1 the quadratic graphs, you know what I'm talking about. So turning point x minus 5 means turning point is x equals 5. Y coordinate is directly 8. What am I interested in now? We are finding the range, which means I'm interested in the which value? The y value, which means the lowest y value here is 8. The lowest y value here is 8. Can you all find me the highest y value here? Get me the highest y value. Okay, so how do we get the highest y value here? The graph is drawn, so you can use it, shows the sketch of the curve. So use the sketch. Okay, don't go to speculate. The sketch is given. So highest y value is at the very starting place. So the t values are given, right? So the two corner t values. So the two corner t values should definitely correspond to these 2 points. The corner t values should definitely correspond to these 2 points. Can you input the t value? Minus pi over 3. Starting t value minus pi over 3. Replace t as minus pi over 3 into 8. Y equal 8 sec square t. So y equal 8 sec square t. You know sec square. We don't have the sec in the cal. Sec means cos square. Can you replace t with minus pi over 3? Cos square minus pi over 3. Calculator must be in what mode? Radian mode. Okay, make sure your calculator is in radian mode or else your answers are not correct. So mine is in degree mode. So angle unit should be radians. 8 over cos square. So first I'll have to give like this: cos minus pi over 3. And then you have to square the whole thing. Can you see cos minus, you can see I wrote the cos minus pi over 3 within a bracket and then square of that. Okay. That gives me how much? 32. Do you agree? I think if you try the other end with pi over 4, if you try 8 sec square t, I think you get 16, right? You were telling me you get 16. So that means this, you can try and see. So this corner value is 32. This value will be 16. Now, do I need 16 here? The 16 comes when you put pi over 4. Replace the t with pi over 4 here. Cos square pi over 4. Type similarly in the calculator, you'll get 16. Now, my range means the highest y value to the lowest y value. I don't need 16 here. What do I need? The highest y value I reach here is 32. The lowest y value I reach here is 8. And at this point, do we really reach here? Do we have the equal mark for the t? At minus pi over 3? Yes, the equal mark is there, which means we will also have to use the equal mark. The lowest point also, the graph is passing through the lowest point, which means the equal mark should be there. So that means your range, what will be the range of y values? Fx is greater than or equal 8, right? 8 is the lowest. And it's lesser than or equal to 32. This is your range of y values. Do you agree with me? Any questions to ask? It's greater than or equal to this 8. You don't need the 16 here. It's greater than or equal to 8, which is the lowest, and the highest you go in this particular range is 32. So fx is greater than or equal 8, less than or equal 32. Question number 6. Okay, so they say in this question you must show all stages of your working, and the solutions relying on calculator technology are not acceptable. Meaning when we integrate, you need to show the working and integrate. Okay, you cannot use the calculator. So they say figure 2 shows a sketch of the curve with the equation y equals 16 sine 2x over 3 plus 4 sine x holding square. X values are between 0 and pi over 2. The region R shown shaded in figure 2 is bounded by the curve, the x-axis, and the line with the equation x equal pi over 6. Can you see? It's bounded by the curve, the x-axis, and the line with the equation x equal pi over 6, and it's ending at pi over 2. Can you see? Using the substitution u equal 3 plus 4 sine x, show that the area of R can be written in the form a plus L and B, where a and B are rational constants to be found. Okay. How do we get the area? Normally, for area, we have two equations that we use. Area equals to integration y dx. This is if you have in Cartesian form. Or else if you have in parametric form, we use area equal integration y dx by dt with respect to t. So which one do I need here? Do I have a Cartesian equation or a parametric equation? You can see y and x are directly equated, right? Which means it is Cartesian. So then I'll use the area equation with the Cartesian. We'll go with this area. I want to get the area y dx. Y is 16 sine 2x over 3 plus 4 sine x, right? 3 plus 4 sine x holding square. So y dx, and what are your x limits? Starting from pi over 6, ending at pi over 2, the shaded region, right? Starting at pi over 6, ending at pi over 2. Okay, now you're supposed to, what are we supposed to do? You're supposed to use a substitution and integrate. So when they give you a substitution, what's the first thing that I have told you to do? You must first differentiate this given substitution and get the replacement for dx. Shall we differentiate the given substitution and get the replacement? So u equals to 3 plus 4 sine x. Okay, I don't need the top equation. Shall I erase it? This is not parametric, so I'll erase that. Let's differentiate. What do we get here? du by dx equals the differentiation of 3 is 0. 4 sine x differentiation is 4 times sine differentiation is cos. Are you with me? Shall we make the subject du over 4 cos x is equal to dx? Are you with me? Do you agree? Okay, then shall we also replace the limits as well? Because when you're replacing the x values, now you're going to convert the entire sum in terms of u. There cannot be any trace of x here. Even the x limits must be converted to u limit. So can you all convert the limits for me? So my x limits are pi over 2 and pi over 6. Can I know the respective u limits? So what is u? U equals 3 plus sine 4x, right? U equals 3 plus sine 4x. 3 plus 4 sine x, right? 3 plus 4 sine x. Can you all replace the x value? Calculator must be in what mode? Radian mode. 4 times sine pi over 2. How much is sine pi over 2 is 1. Right? And so 3 plus 4 is 7. So u equals 7. The next one, at pi over 6, u equals 3 plus 4 sine pi over 6. How much is it? Sine pi over 6 is? How much? Half. The point of half is 2. 3 plus 2 answer is 5. So 5. These are the two u limits. Are you with me? So when x is pi over 2, the limit is replaced by 7. At pi over 6, limit is replaced by 5. Shall we replace? So now replacing pi over 6 by 5, pi over 2 by 7. Immediately I'm not going to change inside. Let me just leave it here at this point. We will change it after we replace the dx. Okay. Who is dx? du over 4 cos x. Okay, so first of all, we'll try to simplify inside as much as possible and then get rid of every single value of x here. Now I can see 4 cos x here, and you can see here we have sine 2x. Can't we do something about sine 2x? The double angle rule of sine 2x is what? Sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. Okay, and then you have du over 4 cos x. So do you see that we can cancel out the cos x? Cos x will cancel out. The 4 will cancel. 4 times 1. 4 times 4 is 16. Do you agree? So I can take the 4 out of the integral sign. Sorry, 4 times 2, we can take 8 out. And I'm remaining here with sine x over 3 plus 4 sine x. I'm still not done. I need to completely convert the sum into u. 3 plus 4 sin x can be replaced by u. 3 plus 4 sin x is directly u. How do I replace sin x? Who is sin x from here? Over the top, can you see sin x is u minus 3 over 4 is sin x. Do you agree with me? Shall we replace 8 times integration? Sin x is u minus 3 over 4. Are you with me? This is divided by 3 plus 4 sin x is u. So this is 3 plus 4 sin x square, that's u square. Okay, shall we make the lines properly? You know, this is the large division here. Okay, I hope this is clear with you all. This could, if you want, you could have written this as sin x into 1 over 3 plus 4 sin x square, because some of you get confused with the with all the division lines here, with all the lines. Okay, so sin x is u minus 3 over 4 into 1 over u square. Do you get that? U minus 3 over 4 into 1 over u square. This is what we actually have. So shall I write it directly? U minus 3 over 4 u square du. And your u limits are from 5 to 7. So then shall we separate this out? 8 times integration. Yeah, let's take the 1 over 4 out as well, right? That makes it easier for us. So 8 over 4. And then inside the integral sign, u minus 3 over u square. So that when I separate u over u square minus 3 over u square, right? Yeah, so u over u square, this is 2 integral, this is 1 over u minus 3 over u square. We can't integrate 3 over, u square, we can take the u up, right? So I get 3u to the power minus 2. Are you with me? Yeah, 1 over u, we don't take it up because for 1 over x, we have a separate integration, right? Shall we integrate now? What happens when you integrate 1 over u? It's ln u. When you integrate minus 3u to the power minus 2, minus 3 times u to the power minus 2. When you integrate, you add 1 to the power minus 1 divided by minus 1. Integration limits are from 5 to 7. Are you with me? So then let's input the limits 2 times. Now make sure this 2 is outside. It's coming for everyone. Okay. So I get here ln 7 minus divided by minus is plus. Or shall I first fix this off properly? 2 times this is ln u minus divided by minus is plus 3 over u. This is okay. Looks easier to substitute, right? Shall I work with this now? Let's input the limits. ln 7 plus 3 over 7 within brackets, then minus for the other limit ln 5 minus 3 over 5. So what do we get here? 2 times when you ln 7 minus ln 5, I took the 2 terms together, plus 3 over 7 minus 3 over 5 is how much? Sorry, this should be plus, right? In the middle, plus 3 over 5. Sorry. ln 5 plus 3 over 5. Yeah. So 3 over 7 minus into plus is minus. 3 over 7 minus 3 over 5. Can I know the answer? 3 over 7 minus 3 over 5. How much is it? minus 6/5. Sorry, how much? 6/35. Okay. This 2 times ln 7 minus ln 5 is inside it's 7/5. Now multiply everyone by 2. You get here 2 times ln 7/5 minus 2 times 6/35 is 12/35. So did I get the format? What was the format they showed us? A plus ln b. Is there any number in front of the ln? No, right? In front of this ln, there's no number. Now I think we got a 2 in front of our ln. So that means we'll have to put it inside. So it goes inside as a power. So what happens? ln 49/25 minus 12/35. So I think they had a plus ln b, right? So a is minus 12/35 plus ln b is 49/25. Is this clear? So these are the two rational constants. Rational constants are fractions. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to question number 7. With respect to a fixed origin O, the line L has equation R equal 4 2 minus 3 plus lambda times minus 4 minus 3 5. So R equal A plus lambda B. All of you know here 4 2 minus 3 represents the position vector on the line, and minus 4 minus 3 5 represents the direction vector of the line, where lambda is a scalar constant. The point A has position vector 9 9 minus 3j plus 2k. Okay, given that x is a point on L nearest to A, find the x coordinates of A. Find the coordinates of x. Okay, what do you mean by nearest to A? Now you have your line. Okay, so you have your straight line here, and on top of the line you have this point. Given that the point x, given that x is the point on L, so you have this point called x, who is on L, such that what it is the nearest to A. Now you need to realize, first of all, is A going to be on top of this line? No, right? A has to be somewhere outside. A is somewhere outside. And the thing is, this point x is situated in such a way. Let me erase x. So let's say, for example, point A is somewhere over here. How do you think I should place point x on this line L? They say point x is supposed to be the closest point to this point A. So where do you think x should be? The closest point will be always the what point? The perpendicular distance is the closest distance. So basically from A you drop a perpendicular. So this is the place where you get x. Are you with me? Okay, so they are asking you to find the coordinates of x. Okay, how do we get the coordinates of x? First thing is x is lying on the line. So if x is lying on the line, you can get the general coordinate of any point on the line. How do you get the general coordinate of any point on the line? You get the R value here, part A, at the coordinates 4 plus lambda into minus 4 is minus 4 lambda. 2 plus lambda into minus 3 is 2 minus 3 lambda. Minus 3 plus lambda into 5 is. So this represents what? The coordinate of any point on that lies on line L. Any point that is on line L should follow this format. Are you with me? So they are asking you to find the coordinates of x. Now, what do we know? How do we find the coordinates of x? Basically, I could say the x coordinate, we can go with this. 4 minus 4 lambda, 2 minus 3 lambda, minus 3 plus 5 lambda. Okay. How do we get the coordinates of x? Now, I need to get the lambda value, basically. Okay, now do you see I wrote the x coordinate by using this R value, because as I told you earlier, this represents any point who lies on line L. X is also lying on line L. Therefore, this coordinate should satisfy the x coordinate. The only thing is you have to get the specific lambda value at the point x. How do we get the lambda value? So do you see there's a perpendicular here? So when you see perpendicular in vectors, what's the rule about perpendicular vectors? The dot product of two perpendicular vectors is The dot product of two perpendicular vectors is 0. The dot product of two perpendicular vectors is 0. So who are the two vectors here? One, we can take XA, or you can say AX. It doesn't matter, XA or AX. Take the easier one. I think AX is easier. X minus A. AX. So AX is perpendicular to whom? It's perpendicular to the line. So when you're taking the line, what vector do we consider in the line? The direction vector. So AX is perpendicular to the direction vector what? -4, -3, 5, which means what? AX vector, if you take the dot product with -4, -3, 5, what should be the answer? The answer must be 0. Because in vectors, the dot product of two perpendicular vectors is 0. Okay, the first thing is to get the AX vector. Shall we find the AX vector? Who is AX? AX is X minus A, right? The vector X minus the vector A. So vector X is 4 minus 4 lambda, 2 minus 3 lambda, minus 3 plus 5 lambda. Subtracting with vector A, who is the coordinates of point A is given, right? 9 minus 3, 2. Get it? What do we get? 4 minus 9 is minus 5 minus 4 lambda. 2 minus 3 is that is plus 5 minus 3 lambda, right? Minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5 plus 5 lambda. Is this correct for X? Check on this again. Okay, right? Okay, so let's take the dot product then. AX minus 5 minus 4 lambda, 5 minus 3 lambda, minus 5 plus 5 lambda. Dot product with -4, -3 and 5 equals to 0. So let's multiply. -4 you're supposed to multiply with -5 minus 4 lambda. Plus the -3 you are multiplying with 5 minus 3 lambda. Plus the 5 you are multiplying with -5 plus 5 lambda, and the answer is equal to 0. Open the bracket. 20 plus 16 lambda minus 15 plus 9 lambda. 5 into -5 is -25 plus 25 lambda equals 0. Is this okay? So when you add everything, what do you get? 16 lambda, 9 lambda, 25 lambda. How much is it? Can you all add everything? How many lambda? How much? 50 lambda. Add the constants. 20 minus 15 minus 25. How much? Minus 20 equals 0. What do we get for lambda? Lambda equals minus 20 plus 20 divided by 50. So basically you get lambda is 2 over 5. So now what do we need to do? We need to get the coordinate of x, right? So all you have to do is substitute the lambda value into the x equation. So what's our x coordinate? 4 minus 4 lambda, 2 minus 3 lambda, minus 3 plus 5 lambda. Is that correct? Replace the lambda value. How much is OX? Yeah, how much? 12 over 5 is the first coordinate. Next one, 4 over 5 minus 1. So the x coordinate, if you give it in this manner, 12 over 5, comma 4 over 5, comma minus 1. So this is the x coordinate. Are you okay with that? Problem number 2, the shortest distance from A to L. Give your answer in the form root D, where D is an integer. Okay, so what's the shortest distance? The shortest distance now just now we found that from A, the point X is the closest to from line L to this point A, which means the shortest distance is AX, isn't it? So how do I get the shortest distance, AX? You already found the AX vector, right? So get the modulus of the AX vector. When you take the modulus of a vector, you get the distance in between those 2 points. So AX is the shortest distance from A to L. So get the modulus of the AX vector. Did we find the AX vector? We have it in terms of lambda, right? Okay, so we'll first have to get the AX vector properly and then we'll get the modulus. Can you all get me the value? -5 minus 4 lambda was 2/5, right? AX5 minus 3 lambda. I'm replacing the lambda value in the AX vector here. Can you see the AX vector? Replacing the lambda value with 2/5 and getting the proper value of the AX vector -5 plus 5 lambda. Can I know the answer here? How much? -33/5. We can write it downwards. Yeah, the next one. 19/5 and third one -3. So this is the AX vector. Or in other words, -33/5i plus 19/5j minus 3k. Are you with me? Now what are we supposed to do? We need to get the shortest distance from A to line L. We know the shortest distance is AX. So get the modulus -33/5 square plus 19/5 square plus -3 square. How much is it? Root 67. You directly get in the calculator, right? You just have to type the whole thing. You get root 67 exactly. Okay, so it doesn't factorize anything out, right? You directly get this answer. Yeah, so that's it. That's the shortest distance. AX modulus. Okay. Shall we go for the next part? Last part, just 2 marks. Can you see? The amount of marks tells you the amount of working that you need to do here. So just 2 marks means it should be pretty obvious or it should be really simple. The point B is the image of A after reflection in L. So this point A, you are going to reflect from line L and you get the point B. So where will point B come? On the other side, right? So it's a reflection. This distance comes over here. They're asking you to find the position vector. Position vector means find the coordinate. How do you find the coordinate? There are 2 ways of doing it. What's the first way? From correct, you know the A coordinates. What are the A coordinates? Remind me again. A coordinates are 9 minus 3, 2. We just found the X coordinates, right? What was the X coordinates? 12/5, 4/5. So this is the X coordinate. So how do I get the B coordinate? So basically, you know, A is reflected from X to the point B, right? So X is the midpoint of B and E. So you could use the midpoint theory here. This is the X coordinate B, Y coordinate B of B and Z coordinate of B. Or just use X1, Y1, Z1, something. Okay, just use some notation. Yeah, and let's get the answer. So what do we do here? This is the first method, okay, for part C. So you can see x1 plus 9, add the 2 corner coordinates, divide by 2, and you should get the midpoint. Do you agree with me? The 2 corner coordinates, you add it and divide by 2, the midpoint, x1 plus x2, divide by 2 gives the middle coordinate. How much is it? (12/5) you multiply by 2 and then the plus 9 comes as minus 9. How much is it? Minus 21/5. Get the y coordinate. Y1, you add with minus 3 and divide by 2 and you get the middle y value. How much is y1? 4/5 you multiply by 2 and minus 3 goes as plus 3. How much is it? 23/5. The last one, v1 plus 2 divided by 2 equals minus 1. What do you get? Minus 1 into is minus 2 plus 2 goes as minus 2. z1 is minus 4. So basically the b coordinate. Okay, so your b coordinate is gonna be minus 21 over 5, 23 over 5, minus what do they ask the coordinate or the position vector? Find the position vector. So don't give like this. So position vector means what? Give in terms of ijk. So position vector of B is minus 21 over 5i plus 23 over 5j minus 4k. Are you with me? So this is one way of doing. Okay, just to give you a heads up, I'll show you one more method of doing this so that you have another trick up your sleeve in the exam. Just look at this. Now, the other way of doing this is by considering vectors. What do we mean by vectors? Now, you know, a vector is a quantity that has both magnitude and direction, right? So, in method 2, in method 1, I was doing the midpoint theory, right? You can do only one method in the exam. So, in method 2, what I'm going to show you is, we can consider vectors. For example, now, you know, these definitely in this one position, right? Do we have double, dual, do we have two places for coordinate B? No, B is like strictly over here because you have A here, X here, and A is reflected on X to come to be exactly on the other side. So basically, you could take vectors here and say, for example, the vector AX. Can you see the vector AX here? The vector AX, you can see the direction and the magnitude. Do you see that there is another vector who has the exact same direction and the exact same magnitude? Who is it? On the other side, who is it? Vector XB. If you take vector AX and XB, do you see XB also is in the same direction as AX? AX and XB are in the same direction. Also, AX and XB have the same magnitude. Why? Because they are the same size. The size is the same. So, AX vector is equal to XB. Remember, when you are equating vectors, you have to like think about both aspects, direction and magnitude. So, in here, the direction and magnitude, both of them agree. That's why I'm capable of equating them. Otherwise, we can't. So, AX vector we have already found, isn't it? AX vector we just found out. What was it? AX was minus 33 over 5. Remind me. Minus 33 over 5. 19 over 5. Minus 3. And what about XB? Can't we find XB? XB is B minus X, right? Okay, so let me take it over here. Yeah, so take the minus X to the other side. Take the minus X to the other side. Minus X comes as plus 6. And we know the X coordinate. What is it? 12 over 5. 4 over 5. Minus 1. And this gives you the coordinates of B when you make B the subject here. Can you see? So minus 33 over 5 plus 12 over 5. Check and see. Do we get minus 21 over 5? 19 over 5 plus 4 over 5. 23 over 5 minus 3 minus 1 minus 4. Do you see that we get the exact same answer? It's the exact same answer. So method 1, method 2. In method 1, I use the midpoint technique. In method 2, I took two vectors and I equated them. So remember, in method 2, you have to be more conscious. In method 2, you have to be more conscious because when you're equating vectors, you have to look into their magnitude as well as their direction. You don't just make any two vectors equal. You have to look into their properties. Both magnitude and direction must be considered when you are equating vectors. Okay? Is this clear? Okay, moving on to question number 8. So again, they say you to show all the working. You cannot do any integration work with the calculator. Okay. So they're saying in part A, find the integration of x square ln x. Okay, how do we get the integration of x square ln x? So what is the strategy we use here to integrate? Yeah, we use parts by integration. Are you with me? Integration of uv dash. Do you remember how we do it? Integration of uv dash with respect to x is uv minus integration vu dash. Are you with me? So then you need to basically choose one person to be u, the other person to be v dash. So look at this. You can see ln x is someone that we know how to what? Only to differentiate. We know how to differentiate ln. Ln x differentiation is 1 over x. So basically, we don't go to integrate ln x. Therefore, ln x will be your u. U is the person that you differentiate. Thereby, automatically x square will be your v dash. Are you with me? So let's write down u is ln x, which means u dash will be 1 over x. V dash is x square, which means we will be integrating, right? V dash to v, we integrate. Okay, so what happens? When you integrate x square, you get x cube over 3. Shall we integrate now? X square ln x, when you integrate, you get, so you can apply the rule uv minus integration v u dash. So apply u is ln x, v is x cube over 3. Are you with me? uv minus integration again v, x cube over 3 into u dash. U dash is 1 over x. Are you all with me? So let's simplify here. I get here 1 over 3 x cube ln x. I'm just rearranging. This is minus. Shall I take 1 over 3 out? Integration x cube into 1 over x is x square. This is okay. So we have one more time to integrate. 1 over 3 x cube ln x minus 1 over 3 into x square. Integration is x cube over 3 plus c. So I get 1 over 3 x cube ln x minus 1 over 9 x cube plus c. Is this okay? So this is the answer for the part A, 3 marks. Okay, let's move on to part B. So there's more of a challenge. They say the region R shown shared in figure 3 lies entirely above the x-axis. You can see that. And is bounded by the curve. Okay, it's bounded by the curve, the x-axis, and the line with the equation x equals e. Can you see? This line is x equal e. They are telling you this region is rotated through 2 pi radians above the x-axis to form a solid of revolution. So you remember solid of revolution, you rotate it and then you create this shape here, right? So you create this 3D object. Can you see? So you create this 3D object. So you're supposed to find what? Find the exact volume of the solid form, giving your answer in simplest form. Okay, you don't need to draw this. Okay, I just wanted to show you the shape, the solid shape that is made here. Okay, how do we get the solid of revolution? What's the equation we use for solid of revolution? We have two formats of equations we use. One Cartesian, one parametric. The Cartesian format is volume equals pi integration y square dx. The other one is volume equal pi integration y square dx by dt with respect to t. So now you can see our equation is what? Cartesian or parametric. Y equal x ln x is Cartesian. Thereby, we will go with the Cartesian equation. The only thing is, first of all, you must identify your limits for this region R. What are the limits? Where do we start? Where do we end? You can see we end at E, right? Ending x value is at E. But I need the starting x value. This x value needs to be found. How do I get this x value? You can see that's the place where the curve cuts the x-axis, right? So when you meet x-axis, you get y0. Input y as 0. 0 equals x ln x. What does it mean? It means x is 0 or ln x is 0. Are you with me? So x equals 0 is this point. Okay, and I don't need that. I need the other one. So how do I get the other one? We have to go with ln x equals 0. How do you solve ln x equals 0? So either you need to remember what's the x value that makes your logarithm 0. Okay, so some of you immediately when you see it, you might see, or you might know ln 1 is 0, logarithm of 1 with any base is 0. Or another way of doing it is you can convert the log form to index form. ln is base e, right? Converting log to index, you get e to the power 0 equal x, which gives you what? X equals e to the power 0 is 1. So basically this x value here is x equals 1. Are you with me? So that means what are our limits? Our limits are starting from 1, ending at E. Starting from 1 to E. Is that okay? So let's input the values now. Pi integration y square. Who is y square? So y square is x square ln x. I mean, don't just put the square like this. Now you can see here x ln x. So you're supposed to square it. So when you see x square ln x square, this is kind of like a misinterpretation because it feels like The square belongs only to the x, and you can't take the square outside because the thing is it's not the individual x square here. It's the entire logarithm function that gets squared. The ln x whole function gets squared. Are you with me? Okay, so the ln x, the entire function is squared here. Okay, so now the thing is, now you need to think, okay, how are we gonna integrate? How do we integrate? How do we proceed to the next step? You think about this, how do we integrate? Okay, so how do we integrate this? What we'll do here is, again, we'll go for parts by integration. So ln x is not something that we know how to integrate. So we will go with differentiation. Ln x square is differentiated while x square is integrated. This is v dash. So you have here u equals ln x whole thing square. How do we get u dash when you differentiate? How you differentiate? First priority goes to the power, right? So 2 times ln x to the power 1 and into then ln x differentiation, which is 1 over x. Can you understand the u dash here? When you have ln x square, the whole thing power 2. When you are doing this, the power gets the first priority, power comes front, ln x to the power 1. After you're done with the power, go inside and differentiate ln x. Ln x differentiation is 1 over x. And go again with the v dash. V dash is x square, which means v is x cube over 3. Is this okay? Okay, so volume equal pi. Shall we integrate? So uv minus vu dash. So u is ln x square, uv is x cube over 3, uv minus v. Integration v is x cube over 3, u dash. U dash is 2 ln x into 1 over x. Are you all with me? This is the parts by integration rule. uv minus integration v u dash. Okay. So then let's input the values. So I get here x cube over 1 over 3 x cube ln x whole thing square minus we can take 2 over 3 out, integration, the x cube and x cancels, you get x square ln x. So this is what? This is the part that we did, this is the thing we did in part A. X square ln x answer we already found in part A, isn't it? Integration x square ln x answer is there. We just need to substitute it here. So let's use it. Pi times 1 over 3. Shall I input the pi? Pi over 3 x cube ln x square minus 2 pi over 3. You can see I multiplied the pi inside to both the terms. And integration, when you integrate, you must input the answer what we got here, 1 over 3 x cube ln x minus 1 over 9 x cube. The plus c actually you can put it here or you can just ignore. Why? Because we are going to put limits. When you put limits, you know, c will just cancel out because you can't replace the c, because when you put both limits, you could put a minus sign in the middle, the c will cancel out. So when you are putting the integration with limits, you don't need to put the arbitrary constant. Okay, this is okay. So now the final stage is we need to write it out and input the limits. Our limits are from where to where? From 1 to e. Shall we first simplify this and make it a little bit more easier to input the limits? Ln x whole thing square. I'll open the bracket here also. This is minus 2 pi over 3 into 1 over 3 is minus 2 pi over 9 x cube ln x, minus into minus is plus 2 pi over 3 times 9 is 27 x cube. Are you with me? Limits are from 1 to e. First, let's input all the, replace every x with e. So I get here pi over 3 e cube ln e square minus 2 pi over 9 e cube ln e plus 2 pi over 27 e cube. Are you with me? This is the first limit. Then minus, let's put the second limit, replacing all the x values with 1. What do we get? Pi over 3 into 1 cube ln 1 is actually going to be 0, which means this whole term is 0. ln1 is 0. The whole term is 0. Even the other term, minus 2 pi over 9 into 1 cube ln1, which is again a 0, because you need to understand, you need to realize ln1 is 0. Minus 0. And the last one we get 2 pi over 27 into 1 cube. 1 cube is 1. Shall I leave it like that? Okay, and then let's input the values here. Again, we have here ln e. Who is ln e? Log base e. ln e is 1. This is 1. This is something you should know. ln e is log base e. This is 1. Okay. So I get here pi over 3e cube because ln e is 1. Minus 2 pi over 9e cube. Again, ln e is 1. Plus 2 pi over 27e cube, right? And finally, the minus mark comes here. Minus into this plus 2 pi over 27 is minus 2 pi over 27. Are you with me? So I think we have some quite a lot of similar terms. There's pi e cube, pi e cube, pi e cube. All these three are similar terms because all of them have pi and e cube. Do you agree with me? So take the calculator and type the similar terms. How much do we have in the first one? 1 over 3 pi e cube. The second one, minus 2 over 9 pi e cube plus 2 over 27 pi e cube. So you can't type the pi and e cube. Just take the like terms. Just give the coefficients and add it. You get 5 over 27. So I get 5 over 27 pi e cube minus 2 pi over 27. You could take, yeah, if you want, you could take the pi out. Have they given us any format to keep the answer? Find the exact volume of solid form, giving you answer in simplest form. Okay, so this is the simplest form. 5 over 27 pi e cube minus 2 pi over 27. Leave your answer. This is the simplest form. Okay, it is clear? Okay, moving on to question number 9. Figure 4 shows a cylindrical tank that contains some water. The tank has an internal diameter of 8 meters and an internal height of 4.2 meters. Water is flowing into the tank at a constant rate of 0.6 cubic meter per minute. So there's the in rate, 0.6 cubic meter per minute. And there is a tap at point T at the bottom of the tank. Okay, so there is a tap. At time T means after the tap has been opened, the depth of the water is h meters. Okay, the water is leaving the tank at a rate of 0.15 pi h cubic meter per minute. So you have a in rate and there is actually what? There is a out rate, 0.15 pi h cubic meter per minute. Are you with me? There is an in rate and there is an out rate. Okay. How do we get this show that? Now the show that is given, show that dh by dt. dh by dt means it's the rate of change of height with respect to time, right? Okay, so we have dh by dt is 12 minus 3h over 320. Now dh by dt means the rate of change of height with respect to t, right? With respect to time. Now they have given you the two rates here. Now looking at what they have given you. First of all, let's look at what they have given you. They have given you the in rate 0.6 cubic meter per minute. Cubic meter per minute means what? This is what? The rate of what? Rate of change of volume with respect to time. Isn't it? The rate of change of volume with respect to time. So I think the whole sum we are going to work with meters per minute. Okay. So I'm not going to do anything to the units. Let's work with the unit. So dV by dt is equal to what? Now dV by dt is the rate of change of volume inside the cylinder. So how do we get the rate of change of volume inside the cylinder? You have an in rate and there's an out rate. What do we do? In 0.6 is the rate of coming in, 0.65, right? 0.65. 0.65 is the rate of coming into the tank minus 0.155 h is the rate of water leaving the tank. So when you subtract the two, you get the rate of water that is inside the tank. This is the dV by dt. However, we don't need dV by dt. We are supposed to find dH by dt. How do we get dH by dt? You can use the chain rule, right? dH by dt. Can you break it up by using the variable v? dH by dv into dV by dt. You can see dV by dt is already given here. dV by dt is already there. The only thing I have to do is I have to find dH by dV. How do I get dH by dV? So you can see this is a cylindrical tank. So volume will be in the shape of a what? The volume will be in the shape of a cylinder. So what's the volume of a cylinder? Pi r square h. Pi r square h is the volume of a cylinder. So pi radius. Can I know what's the radius of this cylinder? I think you can see we have a constant radius. The radius is constant at 4. The diameter is 8. Radius is constant and it doesn't change because the water level is going up. The radius is still the same. Pi r square. The height, of course, is a variable, isn't it? Why? Because the water level, there is a change in the water level. So height is a variable. So you can't use height as 4.2. Okay. So height is h. So what do we get here? 4 pi h is the volume. Sorry, 4 square, which means 16 pi h. Okay, then shall we get dV by dH? dV by dH. When you differentiate the volume with respect to height, we get 16 pi. Do you agree? Okay, so time to input that into the equation here. dH by dt equals dH by dV is 16 pi into dV by dt is what we have over here. Do you agree with me? Sorry, dH by dV is the other way around, right? I have dV by dH is 16 pi. dH by dV should be 1 over 16 pi. Into dV by dt is 0.6 pi. Minus 0.15 pi h. So we need to simplify this and get the show that. 1 over 16 pi. Let's take pi out. Let's take pi out and shall we work on this? So when I get here 0.6, can you all make 0.6 into a simple fraction? 0.6 as a simplified fraction. 3 over 5 minus 0.15 as a simplified fraction. 3 over 20. The pi goes out. There's h here. So I think you can see the pi. When you take it out, pi can cancel out. So I get here 1 over 16 into 3 over 5 minus 3 over 20. I think we'll need to go with the common denominator. Who's the common denominator? 20, right? So here I'll multiply both up and down by 20. I get here 12 over 20 minus 3h over 20. Are you with me? So I think even we can take 3 out as well. Okay. So I get here 1 over 60. Then we get here 1 over 16 into 12 minus 3h over 20. I took it as a common denominator. So I think 12 minus 3h is already there. I'm not going to take a 3 out. You don't need to take a 3 out because 12 minus 3h is part of our show there. How much is 16 times 20? 320, which is the show that. Can you see? So this is the show that. Okay, then we'll move on to the next part. 6 marks, part B. Given that the depth of water in the tank is 0.5 meters when the tap is open, find the time taken for the depth of water in the tank to reach 3.5 meters. Okay, so they're asking you to find the time where for the depth of water in the tank to reach 3.5. Okay, what do we need to do here first of all? Given that the depth of water in the tank is 0.5 meter when the tap is open. So when the tap is open means this is what we consider as what? Time what? When the tap is open. I mean at t means after the tap has been open. So when the tap is open, it means it's the point when time is 0. When time is 0, basically they are telling you here at time 0, h value is how much? 0.5. Okay, so these are values that we can use to get this constant. Okay, but they are asking you to find the time for the taken for the depth of water in the tank to reach 3.5. You have to find the time taken for h to be 3.5. So what's the first thing we should do here? We have to first solve this differential equation. Solve the differential equation means what? Get h in terms of t. Make like you have to get the original equation of how h changes with respect to t. So we have dh by dt. So can you all get this back to the original state where you have h subjected? How do we do that? This is a differential equation. You can separate the variables and integrate, shall we? So how does it separate variables? dh is over here. How do we separate the variables? 12 minus 3h. I have to bring all the h terms into the side with dh. So what does that give me? 1 over 12 minus 3h. Are you okay with that? On the other side, I have 1 over 320 and dt can come over here. Do you agree with my rearranging, how I rearrange the equation? So I rearrange the equation. Okay, and then let's integrate both sides. So the first side integrates with respect to h, the other one integrates with respect to t. So what happens when you integrate 1 over 12 minus 3h? It's ln, so 1 over ax plus b. Integration of 1 over ax plus b is 1 over a ln ax plus b, right? So I have given you these rules. I have shown it to you many times. So basically in this case, it's going to be 1 over minus 3 because the coefficient is minus 3. ln 12 minus 3h equals on the other side 1 over 320. When you integrate with respect to t, it's 1 over 320 t. And don't forget the plus c. Okay, now what do we do? The first thing we do is when h is 0.5, replace t as 0. And you can find the value of your c. Let me input that. Minus 1 over 3 ln 12 minus 3 into 0.5. 1 over 320 time is 0. Can I have the simplified answer here for C? Minus 1 over 3 ln. How much is 12 minus 3 into 0.4? 3 into 0.5. How much? 21 over 2. Okay, and then this is the C value. Let's input that into our main equation again. Minus 1 over 3 ln 12 minus 3h equals 1 over 320p. C value is minus 1 over 3 ln 21 over 2. Okay, now what do we do? Next one. They have told us to find the time taken for the depth of water in the tank to reach 3.5. What should we do now? Replace h with 3.5 and make t the subject. So when h is 3.5, replace h as 3.5, make t the subject. We have make t the subject. Okay, so what happens here? Minus 1 over 3. Can I know the value inside? ln 12 minus 3 into 3.5 is 3 over 2. This becomes plus 1 over 3 ln 21 over 2 equals 1 over 320t. Okay. So here 1 over 3 is kind of common to both of them. Shall I take 1 over 3 out? And I get here, I'll write the plus logarithm here, plus ln 21 over 2 minus ln 3 over 2. Okay, I just rearrange these two. Guys, is that okay? Do they want the exact answer or do they want three significant figures? If it is exact, then we need to keep on working. Okay, it's not specified, which means we can give the answer to 3 significant figures. Anyway, we need to give the time in minutes, right? Yeah, so here to give the time. So I'll try to go in exact as much as possible, and then at the last moment we will convert. So 1 over 3 ln, it's a subtraction, means the logarithms are, it's dividing 21 over 2 divide by 3 over 2. Is it okay if I write like this? 21 over 2. Otherwise, you will see a lot of division. 21 over 2 divided by 3 over 2. This is a hassle. So I wrote it like this. Equals 1 over 320t. So the 320 comes up as a multiplication. Do you agree? 320 into 1 over 3 into ln. How much is it? 21 over 2 divided by 3 over 2 is 7. So directly it's ln 7. Equals to t. 320 doesn't simplify with 3, right? So basically the time taken is 320 over 3 times ln 7. Now type it in the calc. How much is it? 207.5637, which means the 3s left 208 what? Minutes. So this is the amount of time it takes for the height to reach 3.5 meters. Okay, do you understand? Okay, moving on to question number 10. A student attempts to answer the question, prove by contradiction that if n cube is even, then n is even. So you remember how we do proof by contradiction? What do we do? First, we assume that the given statement is false, right? And then we write logical steps. And what happens? We get to a point where we show that that the assumption we did is wrong. The steps will work out to show that the assumption that we wrote initially is wrong, and thereby it contradicts the initial assumption. Do you remember how proof by contradiction works? And then they have said here the student has written the steps, so you need to just write the last line of the proof. The line 5 of the proof is missing. So look at the first line. Assume that there exists a number n such that n cube is even, but n is odd. Can you see? It's the negative of the statement. The proof by contradiction, if n cube is even, then n is even. So how do we do the proof by contradiction? Step number 1 is we assume this statement is false. We take the negative of the statement, which is, so we assume that there is a number n such that if n cube is even, then n is odd. Do you remember? Then what we do is now we work thinking as n as an odd number, and we keep on working. We'll try to find n cube and show that n cube is even. Okay, but then somewhere down in the proof, we need to get what? We need to show that it is not possible. Because that's how we do proof by contradiction. Now, logical steps, we need to get something that doesn't work out, that doesn't work with the assumption. So let's look at this. So if n is odd, then we write n is 2p plus 1, where p is the element of integers. V means integers. Do you agree? So we are supposed to find n cube is even, right? So to prove n cube is even, they have taken n cube, 2p plus 1 to the power 3, and it's expanded here. Okay, so what should be the last line? Now in the last line, I need to prove that n cube is even, but now it's a contradiction, which means I need to show that there is by some method that it's not going to be even. So what do you think is the last line of the proof I should write here? What is the last line of the proof I should write here? Now I need to show that what if this to do the proof by contradiction, my n cube must be what? I must get a what answer? Is it even? Because in proof by contradiction, you need to show that the statement is not going to work out, which means you need to get an odd value here. How do we get the proof of odd number? Yeah, odd number means you have two times some integer plus the 1, plus some 1 value. So here you can see we already have plus 1. So what you can do is from these 3 you can take out a 2. So you take 2 out, what's remaining? 4p cube plus 6p square plus 3p, and then you get plus 1. So what does this tell you? So you can see now this 2 times some integer is definitely even, and then plus 1 means this is definitely odd, which is odd. This is definitely odd, which means what? Therefore it contradicts our initial assumption. This contradicts our initial assumption. So if n cube is even, then n is even. Okay, so this is the missing line that you need to write. So it's just 1 mark. Okay, let's go to the 5 mark question. Hence, prove by contradiction that cube root 2 is irrational. Okay, hence means what? You need to use the help of part A. You need to use the help of part A. Prove by contradiction. That means prove by contradiction. Again, assuming that the given statement is false, you have to assume and you have to write the steps and show that it contradicts. Okay. So hence prove by contradiction that cube root 2 is irrational. Okay, what do you mean by irrational? Irrational means numbers that cannot be written as fractions. Rational numbers are numbers that we can write as fractions. Irrational numbers are numbers that we can't write as fractions. Okay, so you have to show that this is irrational. Okay, what's the first thing we should do here? What's the assumption? The first thing is we need to assume that now in here we need to take the negative of the statement. So we are going to assume that cube root 2 is actually what? Rational. Assume okay. Cube root 2 is rational. So then if it's a rational number, then what does it mean? A rational number means we can write it as a what? A fraction, right? So we can write it as a fraction. So you can write there, you can write like this. There exists integers. So let's take the integers. I'm going to write it as a fraction. So let's take the integers P and Q such that, so these are the assumptions, such that cube root 2 is equal to what? P over Q, right? So this is what we mean by rational. A rational number means we can write it as a fraction. So then we are going to assume, so these are the assumptions. We assume that there exists integers P and Q such that cube root 2 is P over Q. Okay, so we need to have integers that exist like this. Okay, so we need to now work with this and show that, but we need to show that this contradicts. Okay, so let's get the proof started. How do we start the proof? Cube root 2, 2 to the power 1 over 3. Shall we remove the power 3 to the other side? What do we get when you remove the power 1 over 3? We get 2 equals. How do you remove the cube root? The other side, you take it as a cube, right? P over Q to the power 3, because cube root is power 1 over 3. Which means I get here 2 equals P cube over Q cube. Are you okay with that? So let's get here P cube equals 2 times Q cube. Is that okay? P cube equals 2 times Q cube. Okay. So now what do you understand when you have a number multiply now with its cube with some integer, right? Q cube is also an integer. This Q cube integer is multiplied by 2. So what happens when you multiply any integer with 2? What does that tell you? It's a what type of integer? This is definitely even. This is definitely even. Do you agree with me? So then you understand that 2Q cube is even and it's equal to P cube, which is P cube is also even. So that means the P cube value is also even. Right? So then therefore we understand P cube is even. So if P cube is even, what do you have to say about P? Now this is where we get the link to part A. Why in part A they say if N cube is even, then N is also even. So if P cube is even, if P cube is even, then P is even. This is what we use from part A. Okay, so now think about what we have written over here. Okay, so then how do we go to the next step? Now in here we wrote cube root 2 is P over Q, right? And here you need to realize that we are writing P and Q in its what form? P and Q are in its what form? In its simplest form, okay? We have it in its simplest form, which means can they be further factorized? Can they be further, can we make it simplify further? No. Okay, we should not be able to simplify it further. That's why we write it over here. So here P and Q are in its simplest form. Now we get here because P cube is equal to Q cube. Okay, you realize 2Q cube is even, which means P cube is equal to an even number. So if P cube is even, then P is even is what we got from here. Okay, so if P is even, shall I say if P is even, we can write P is equal to some 2K? P is equal to 2K. Do you agree with me? Okay, so if P is equal to 2K, can you all get me the value of Q. So I think you can see we have an equation that relates P and Q together, right? So P is, I think you can see P cube is equal to 2Q cube, right? Shall we get that value? So what does this give us for P cube? P cube is 2K to the power 3. Are you with me? Which is how much? 8K cube. So what do we know about P cube? You know P cube is equal to 2Q cube. Are you with me? P cube is equal to 2Q cube. Is that okay? So then we also found that P cube is equal to 8K cube. So then we can equate them and get the Q value, right? Because both of them are equal to P cube. So 2Q cube is equal to 8K cube. So what do we get here for Q? I get here Q cube is equal to 8 divided by 2 is 4K cube. So once again, what do you understand about Q cube here? Q cube is even or odd? Because it's 2 multiplied by 2K cube, right? Now K is some integer. So 2K multiplied by 2 is, it's an even integer, isn't it? So you can say here what? Q cube is even. So if Q cube is even, what does it mean? So Q is, if Q cube is even, so therefore Q is even. Can you understand what I'm doing here? What I did was, first I was speaking about P and we found that P is even. Next we went to find about Q and we found Q is even. Now what do we understand here? Both P and Q are even. So if both P and Q are even, what does it mean? They are both, even numbers are definitely multiples of 2. Right? So they are both even, they are multiples of 2. That means when you take this fraction P over Q, if you have multiples of 2, that means they can be further, they can be further simplified. So then what does it mean if we are working with our initial assumption? Our initial assumption is contradicted, right? So why? Because both of them have both are even number. That means they have a factor of 2, which means they can be further simplified, which means P over Q is it in the simplest form? No, so it contradicts our initial assumption. So therefore, because it contradicts, the cube root of 2 must be irrational. So write it down, the last step. Okay. Yeah, you can write here. P and Q are even integers. Are even, so they both have a factor of 2, right? Therefore, what does it mean? P over Q is it in the simplest form? P over Q is not in its simplest form. Do you agree with me? It's not in the simplest form. This, what does this do? This contradicts our initial statement, our initial assumption. Therefore, cube root 2 is irrational. I hope all of you understood, especially the middle simplification here. This part is a little bit challenging, but you need to realize what I just did here. I found the P value. Because P is even, I just took P is 2K. You can take any 2M, 2N, just take something here as long as it's even and use the P to find the Q value. And we found that both of them are even. Okay, and then we finally come to this contradiction. Therefore, cube root 2 is irrational. It is clear. Okay, so I hope all of you understood this. So this is the end of the October 2021 P4 paper.